Hello everyone, this is PamelaTopjian. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and being here and sharing in this time in this space with me. I really appreciate you all, especially with what this topic is about. It's a pretty heavy topic. And if you clicked on this, you know what we're in for, but I want to give a trigger warning for self-unaliving if you need it. This might not be the video for you if that's going to trigger you. So before I start, just let me share some statistics here. The last statistics are from 2024, when in the US, 48,824 people lost their lives by their own doing. Even one is too many. And that's just the US. And that's even just those recorded. I think there's others that weren't even a part of those statistics. So last week, I shared my story of coming to California. I mentioned in that story, kind of briefly, how I was suicidal and that it was a last-ditch effort. However, I didn't want to get too dark or too dramatic in that video, but the reality is those feelings are dark. And those feelings are very real. A good friend and I were talking about that last video, and she mentioned that I might want to consider sharing that darker side of those feelings. Because as I showed you, those statistics, there's too much unaliving happening. And as I already said, even one is too many. So it's worth sharing because it may just help save a life. Even one. That would be awesome. And if you know anybody who is feeling hopeless or feeling helpless, please share this video with them. Many people feel these thoughts and are hanging on by a thread, and knowing that it can be better, just knowing that, beyond just existing and thriving, but living a life that they love, loving their life, just knowing that it's actually possible, that could be helpful. And that is my hope here. So, as I've said, I've had those feelings. I was suicidal. I started making a plan before a friend had suggested moving for a fresh start, which is how I actually came to California. And I'll put that other link to that video in the description here. I might put it up somewhere here if I can figure out how to do that. But the only thing that kept me from carrying out that plan is that I had lost a sister in a car accident when she was 18, and I was even younger. I'm 5 years younger. So I didn't want my mother to have to bury another child. But as for my children, they were already adults, and I thought that they would be better off without me because everybody kind of knew I wasn't doing well, but wasn't exactly sure what was going on. So just the fact that I was thinking of my mom shows that there was a tiny sliver of hope. However, when I did come to California and before I started therapy, I knew I wasn't going to be able to live my life in that state of mind if I couldn't be helped. So another thing that my friend and I were talking about was how so many people think of suicide as being a selfish way out. But when you're feeling that low and that dark, it's not a matter of not thinking of how your actions will affect others. It's more of not realizing that you matter at all, realizing that you have a purpose here on earth, or that anybody would even miss you. You usually think they would be better off without you. Also, being so stuck in that dark place within yourself, you don't have the capacity to even think of others. So for me, going for therapy really was, truly was, the last-ditch effort because I was not going to stay if I couldn't get out of that. I was having nightmares. I was having even flashbacks while I'm awake. Flashbacks of some of the abuse I've been through. I was having a hard time even functioning in my life. I was so fearful and I didn't understand why. And this is, of course, before therapy. I was having a lot of anxiety while I was driving or even being out in public. It was really a very difficult time. And I don't say this to be dramatic, but to share how it feels and what's going on from within the inside of a person who is depressed and or has high anxiety. A lot of times they go together. I wasn't sleeping. I was having very dark thoughts at night. And when you're not sleeping, it makes everything worse. And then it makes you even less able to function while you're awake in your daily life. So I just real quickly wanted to share the feelings that I was having. I wanted to share the statistics and to let you know that it's really possible. It's really possible to get out of that. I am just in such a place that I never even thought possible. And that can happen for you too. It really can. There's nothing different about me. So I have a candle that I'm going to light to send light into the darkness so that you know that you matter and your life matters. You may not be able to see it now, but hopefully with the symbolism of the light from the flame, it'll help to brighten up those dark spaces within you. Just knowing that somebody is thinking about you, lighting a candle for you, and showing you that it's possible to move on from these feelings. That deep, dark hole feels so deep and so dark that you can't imagine your way out. I know, I've been there, but now I'm at a place that I never even thought possible. So please know that it can and often does get better. I am living proof. So I'll leave the candle burning until it goes out on its own. So this candle is for all of you who may be in that dark place right now, who may not know a way out, who may not see any light in their future right now. I hold this space for you. I hold this light for you. You matter. Your life matters. Again, I'm going to say it will get better. I promise you, if you just hold on a little longer, if you work towards getting better, therapy or any kind of counseling or any kind of, even if you want to go to a little more spiritual, mystical route and do some energy healing, talk to some Reiki masters, maybe some hypnotherapy, maybe all of it, or any kind of traditional therapy, EMDR, it can get better. I promise you this, it can. So I'll have some links below to help if you're going through this now. If you know somebody who may need to hear this, please share it out. And as I said, hopefully the light of the candle reaches all of you who may need it now. I wish you all so much peace, so much love, and so much inner healing for all who are watching and all who may need it, whether they're watching or not.